Hey, welcome back to the channel. So the last video, if you watched it, I was doing a bunch of work replacing body mounts. And some of this happened immediately after it, and I recorded it, but the video just didn't turn out that great. And so I'm re-recording some bits here. So you're gonna see me wearing different clothes at different times. That's just because some of this I recorded afterwards, and I'm gonna edit it all together to try and make sense. So while I was working on the body mount removal, I pulled off the skid plate from underneath the Jeep. Now the skid plate protects, it does two things. It's structural. It holds the Jeep a little bit together. It holds the transfer case and transmission in place. And it protects them from getting smashed by rocks underneath of them. And I wanted to kind of see what the state of rust underneath of there was as well. Also, I think at some point there was a really bad oil leak because everything in that area is coated in oil. The Jeep doesn't seem to be leaking oil, but that had this nice side effect of, I think, protecting a little bit of that area from rust. But there was some. And the other thing that I ran into was the skid plate mounting bolts were in awful shape. We'll show you that here in a second. And one of the skid plate mounting bolts was broken off. So when they had installed the lift kit for it and had to put longer bolts in, they clearly busted one of them out. And instead of inserting, pulling that out and whatnot, they just left it in place. So in this video, we're going to do two things. One, I'm going to pull that old bolt out. Two, I am going to replace several of the threaded inserts that sit in the frame that the bolts mount into to mount the skid plate in place. So I'm using some thread inserts to do this that I got off of Amazon, and I got a set of new bolts that I'm going to install because the old ones, the threads were just completely shot on, several of them. And so all new bolts, and I think I installed a total of 4 threaded inserts into the frame. Two of the existing threads were in good enough shape that they didn't need to be replaced, so we left them. But let's take a look at these threaded inserts right now. Okay, so these are the bolts that were holding the skid plate in place. You can see some of these are in pretty bad shape. The threads are pretty worn out, and I just don't trust them. In fact, like if you look at this one, the threads from here to here are completely gone. So this guy, no good. But also the threads in the frame were stripped out completely on 2 of them, so they really didn't fit in at all anymore. Also, one of the bolts was completely busted out, so there should be 6 bolts. I only had 5 because whoever had done the work on this before had busted one of them out and just said, hey, it's a middle bolt, we'll leave it. So I got 5 bolts and 5 spacers. These spacers sit between the frame and the skid plate itself. I believe these are a result of the original lift kit that they put in, where they had to drop the transfer case height a little bit, and then they put these spacers in here to make that all work. So what do we got to, let's take a look at what we got to fix this. So one, we got all new bolts. We got 6 new bolts that are bright and shiny and have nice threads and should be a little bit better. And then we got this threadsert kit. Okay, so one of my problems with the original video was everything that I did in this phase was completely out of focus. So we're reshooting it, and we're going to talk about what you get with this kit. So with the kit that I got 6 of these thread inserts. This is what they look like, a little kind of hat-shaped guy. You get this little bearing, a washer, a nut, and a bolt. And these guys here are used to do the install. There's another thread insert type that uses what looks like a crimper to install it, and the handles on them are pretty long. And while I was 90% sure that would fit under the Jeep as I was doing it for the crimping exercise, this seemed a lot cheaper and simpler, and I knew for sure it would fit. And then as for what I'm going to need 2 3/4 inch wrenches, and then I've got these pliers just to help with a little bit. So we're going to go through how this tooling works to install it, and then we'll go through, I'll show you how it looked when I did the install as well. So first, we're going to take the bolt and we're going to stick this nut on the bolt here. And all right, then we're going to install a washer as well as this bearing. So the washer and the bearing are going to keep any friction off of the nut insert once it's installed. That way, when I move this nut up along the bolt, the nutsert won't spin and it will compress. So this kind of reminds me of like a pop rivet, basically, where the threads inside of this are going to get pulled down, and that's going to expand the outer section of it here, and then that's going to hold it into the frame. There we go. So everything is now set in place. And at this point, I could take this and we could insert it into the frame and go through the operation of expanding it. You don't have to have everything set all the way down here. One thing that I found as I was doing it was nice to do that, because then I could use the distance from the bolt head and the nut to know how much I had expanded this nutsert. But they do provide you how far to expand this. So I'm just going to go through this real quick and I'm going to expand it just so you can see what it looks like. And we're just going to hold this here, and we're going to use, so we've got the box end of the wrench on the bolt, and we've got this on the nut, and we're just going to expand it. And this is going to move the nut, and it takes a bit of force to move up. And it's a little easier to do when it's in the frame because it's not going to move around. But, and I'm not 100% sure you can see this on camera, you can see it swelling out right here. So there's a little bit of swelling out right here, and I've only moved it a fraction. So we're going to move it up a little bit further. Again, we're just moving the bolt. So we've only moved it maybe a quarter of an inch, and you can see it's really swollen up right there. So this holds into the frame really well. When you drill out your old ones, you don't want to drill out the frame more than what it is. Make sure that you get the right size drill for this. For this one, I got this 5/8 Cobalt drill. It did a great job drilling out the my holes for me. So, and this is I'm not going to be able to use this insert anywhere now that I've run it through here like this. It's a one and done. You can't reuse it. You know, it's not like I could make it unswollen. And now that it's kind of at a point, it gets quite a bit easier to move. So you can imagine if I'd had the frame sitting here between this, how this would have compressed these two flanges over the frame and held this in place. So that's it. The only thing you've got left to do after that is just basically remove the bolt from the nutsert. And at this point, it'll stay in place. We're just pretending it's staying in place with my pliers here. They may need vice grips though. There we go. And your install bolt just will screw right out at that point. At which point you could then insert your bolts holding your skid plate back into place. So this is the process how this tool set works with just this basic nut, bolt, and washer, and installs the nutsert. So very simple process, doesn't need any complex tool. You don't need any special tools. You probably got a couple of wrenches in your toolbox already. Nice and easy to do. And I don't know if you can see, but you can see the threads have now come pretty far down here into the into this guy here, and this worked great. Okay, so let's take a look. This is one of the inserts that is still healthy and happy. This is the one that I just replaced, and this is the one with a bolt stuck into it. we might be able to punch it out now because I think I can see the outline now of the insert. So I think we've ground off the whole flange of the insert. Oh, beauty. That worked perfect. All right, so this is where we just ground off the flange there. We'll put the new insert right up in there. All right, I don't know how well this will film, but here's, we'll hold that up in there like this. We're gonna put a wrench down here on the bottom, on the bolt. We'll hold that in place. And then we're gonna take our other wrench and we're gonna put it on the nut. And we'll spin the nut up. Oh, well, we can spin the nut up a little bit by hand. Oh, sorry, I went the wrong way. Everything's weird in the upside down. I want to keep a little bit of upward pressure on it so that the so that the insert stays flush against the frame. That's already kind of in there. It's kind of holding itself in place now, but it can still spin. It needs a little bit more. There we go. And now it's moving pretty easy. Now there should be about a ½ inch. So that's part of the reason I put the bolt all the way down or close to all the way down. That way we can see how far it moves up. I think it said, let's go check what the manual says. I can't remember how far. All right, so it says it should go up 5/16, which is about 1/4 inch, a little bit more than 1/4 inch. So we're gonna move it a little bit further. I don't want to over stress it here. It's very solid in there now though. Give it one more 1/4 turn. And then we can just back the nut out. We can get a picture. So this is the insert that we just did after we pulled the old bolt out. And here's the sorry, I had that backwards. So this is the one I did first. This one was easy. We just drilled out the original and then dropped this one in. And then this is the one that we just did where we pulled the bolt out first and then installed that guy. So this should be much, much better for holding our skid plates in place. We got one more we need to do on the other side. We're not going to record that because you already saw how to do it. And then we'll mount our skid plate back in place. So once I installed the new thread inserts, the 4 of the 6 thread inserts, it was pretty easy to just reinstall the skid plate. I just used the vise to hold it in place. There was a little bit of jiggling around. I wanted to be really careful not to cross thread any of the bolts into my new threads. And so it did take a little bit of just sort of finagling and making sure everything was lined up right. But it's in very strongly now. I feel it's got a very good connection. I'm not worried that like I'm going to lose bolts or that it's going to fall out going down the road or I'm going to lose my transfer case. So that's it for this video. I've got links for both the bolt kit and the nutserts that I got off of Amazon, as well as the same 5/8 drill bit that I used to do this with. Very simple, easy project. Probably takes about an hour if you want to do all 6 of your, if you need to do all 6 of the threads. Maybe 10 to 15 minutes per set of threads that you've got to do. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps. Hope it was interesting. I got a bunch more stuff I'm going to be doing on the Jeep. I got a project we're going to be doing in the house and more stuff coming up in the channel over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll also have a little bit more time to recreate and do some snowboarding. I don't know that I have any other snowboarding interesting videos coming up right now. I don't know that I have any new gear coming. But if I do get anything, we'll do more reviews, and that's it. So thanks for watching.